Welcome to Western Door Paranormal Studies. My name is Tony Burtis, your host. And today we're going to talk about Valentown, located in Victor, New York. Historic Valentown, located in Victor, New York, was built in 1879 by Levi and Allison Valentine on a parcel of land owned by their grandfather Ichabod Town. The building was built as a four-story community center, and many consider it a precursor to the modern-day mall. Ironically, it sits across from the Eastview Mall. Valentine housed many different shops that catered to the community's needs. Among other things, it had a bakery, saddle shop, a cobbler shop, general store, music school, and a meeting room. It also had a large ballroom, and it was also a stagecoach stop. Now it's a history museum that houses many artifacts from its vast history. Valentown is on the National Registry of Historic Places. So as you can imagine, Valentown is not without its ghost stories. And a lot of the stories have been told by credible witnesses, people just like you and I. Now, the reports of paranormal activity at Valentown are exactly what you would expect. Cold spots, full-body apparitions, orb photography, spirit photography, but the big claim to fame that Valentown seems to have is when you go up into the ballroom, you can still hear music being played, even though there's no bands or any music going on at all. Now, at one point, Taps did go to Valentown, and they were able to actually pick up on this phenomenon. Now, Valentown used to run a paranormal program. Now, for whatever reason that I don't know or understand, many years ago that program was actually canceled. So there are no more paranormal investigations allowed in Valentown itself. Now, I went on their website, and they said that most reports of paranormal activity are from like third-party people, and that they discourage ghost hunting there. They discourage any reports of paranormal activity, and what they have gone as far as saying is that anyone who does say that they had an encounter at Valentown will be disputed by the Board of Trustees who run Valentown. Now, the only place I agree here is their statement saying that they want Valentown to be used as a historical monument and as a place to learn the history of Victor, New York, and, well, America in general. So that I agree with. Even if you're not into the paranormal, I do recommend you go to Valentown and check it out. It's a wonderful museum with a lot of wonderful artifacts. Now, the only heartburn I have with this whole thing is if someone does go there as a tourist and they have a paranormal encounter of some type, if they have one, it might make them a little timid to actually say anything based on the statements made by Valentown. I don't think Valentown has the right to go out right now and say, well, you know, that simply didn't happen, because paranormal activity can happen to anybody. So if anyone does have an experience there, they should feel free to go ahead and, you know, tell everyone about their particular experience. So I went there a couple years ago, pretty much right after all that, and admittedly it was as a tourist. I went through the place, all the floors, and you go into a place like that, you can certainly feel the history. Everything in there just definitely has an energy all on its own. However, I didn't experience anything paranormal. It wasn't in the capacity of a ghost hunt. I just wanted to tour the place. So basically I just had my regular photographic camera out and just took a whole lot of pictures, which you've seen some, and I'll show more. Basically though, there was one picture that I did highlight that, to me, it shows somebody possibly peering out of one of the windows. You'll see that picture, and I'm going to leave that for you to decide. Now, Valentown might not like me putting something like that out, but that comes down to freedom of speech, and I'm under no obligations or contracts if I get something like that to not put it out, especially on my paranormal channel. That all being said, I hope you enjoy the photos that I was able to put out. I was going to go in with the video camera and the voice recorder and stuff like that, but I am actually respecting the wishes of the Board of Trustees at Valentown. So I never got to conduct a paranormal investigation the way I would have liked it to be done. But hopefully you can use my pictures as a virtual tour of the place. And I do recommend that you go out there when it's open for their season and see the place, because it is a wonderful, wonderful structure. Like when you go into the main ballroom mostly, that's where you can feel the energy of the meetings that took place there and the dances and all that sort of thing. So, Valentown in Victor, New York. No ghost hunting, apparently, but if you do have an experience there, don't be afraid to tell us all about it. Okay, what you're going to see here is the picture that I mentioned before, the one that I talked about. You'll see it circled with an arrow pointing, and just let me know what you think. I'm going to put this picture up as well on my Western Door Paranormal page, so you can blow it up and take a really good look. It could be matrixing. I understand that that happens, and most paranormal pictures are some weird form of matrixing. But this one to me just looks like a fellow with a mustache peering out the window. So definitely let me know what you think.